I met him online almost 2 years ago. I was 39, he was 50, divorced, with 4 kids. Though only one was still a minor, we clicked quickly. After just a few weeks, we made it official. We talked for hours about our lives, past marriages, relationships, all of it. He told me he and his wife were legally separated, and I checked. It was true. They had been apart for years. According to him, she was cheating on him through dating apps, always out, partying and drinking, never inviting him. He painted a picture of being a stay-at-home dad who was constantly berated and neglected. I opened up about my late husband, how he was abusive and manipulative. I told him I just wanted to feel safe, respected, and loved. By the 3-month mark, I had met his mom, and he had already met mine. I really thought I had found my person. About 5 months in, we decided to move in together. I know it was fast, but I was love-bombed, and everything felt so right. The chemistry, the connection, even the sex was incredible. He rented a mobile home, and I had a decent-sized house, so he moved in with me. His mom even helped him pack. She and I spent that whole day talking and bonding. She told me how horrible his ex-wife was to him, and how happy she was that he finally found someone who treated him right. She treated my kids like her own grandkids. Not long after he moved in, he got laid off from his construction job. He sulked and moped around the house for 2 months before finding another job, which he lost 4 months later. It became a cycle. Aside from the job stuff and minor annoyances, like not putting dishes in the dishwasher or forgetting to take the trash out, he was good with our kids, and life felt mostly happy. We didn't fight much, and when we did, we made up, enthusiastically. Then came February 2025. We had been living together for about 15 or 16 months when he lost yet another job. I had enough. I sat him down and told him he had 2 weeks to find a stable job and start contributing. At that point, I was supporting everyone. Him, 2 teens, a kindergartner, and 3 dogs, 2 of which were his. This conversation happened on a Thursday. The very next day, he came out of the bedroom in tears, telling me he was depressed and needed to go to the hospital. I had that Friday off and started getting my shoes on to go with him, but he stopped me. He said he'd be there a while, and that I needed to get the kids from school. I reluctantly agreed. He hugged me, kissed me, told me he'd call once he saw the doctors. I didn't hear from him all weekend. I called, texted, nothing. I even contacted his parents, who were out of town. At first, they said they hadn't heard from him, then later said they got in touch and he was okay. Sunday evening, he finally texted me, "Be there shortly to get some of my clothes." He showed up an hour later, knocked, which was odd since he had a key, and said, "I'm breaking up with you. I need to get my mind straight." Then he left. Weeks went by. Nothing. His mom only said he was at a friend's and going to therapy. After nearly a month of silence, he randomly showed up at my house again. He talked about new meds, doctors, how he was doing better. He said he would be staying with his parents while he worked through things. I agreed it was a good idea. I had started therapy too, and was focusing on my own mental health. We talked about how he needed to communicate better. I genuinely thought he might have hurt himself during that silent month, especially after losing my previous husband the way I did. He promised he'd stay in touch and be more open. It didn't take long for us to fall back into our old patterns. He started coming over often, 8 days out of 10 sometimes. We had lazy days at home, intimacy resumed, and he kept saying we'd work things out. He even told me he couldn't move back in yet until we were sure where we stood. But something felt off. My gut kept telling me something wasn't right. One Sunday, he showed up saying his phone wasn't working, spent the day with me, and left for work the next morning. Before leaving, he kissed me and said, "I'll call you from work. I'll stop by later. I'm so glad we're back together." Then May 4th happened, after 5 weeks of ghosting me again, during which I texted him multiple times, telling him to pick up his stuff and take his dogs. He suddenly showed up. No warning, just walked into my house and said, "Open the garage. I've got a moving truck. I'm leaving you. This is too much. The spark is gone." He started loading the truck. His kid helped. I sat nearby, watching, making sure they didn't take anything that wasn't his. He told me he found a cheap storage unit and would be back for the rest. A few hours later, he returned, pale, shaky, nauseous. I figured maybe it was heat exhaustion and brought him some water. Then I got a text from an unknown number. "Hi, is this my name?" Naturally, I replied, "Who is this?" My ex asked what was wrong. I read the number out loud. He immediately ran outside and threw up. The next message said, "This is his ex-wife. Just letting you know my husband and I are back together. He's been living with me since the day he left your house." I looked at him and asked if it was true. He denied it, saying she was crazy and lying. But his son confirmed everything. His ex-wife showed up shortly after. She had found out where I lived. She thought I was harassing him. That's what he told her. But I showed her the truth. All the texts, everything he said about us being back together, all the dirty messages, the plans we made. Her reaction, she lost it. She slammed him against the garage wall, and their son and I had to pull her off him. Turns out, his mom knew the whole time. She knew he was cheating on me and didn't say a word. Just like she knew he cheated on his ex-wife with me and kept quiet then too. As we compared notes, the picture became clear. The whole week he was coming over to see me, he told her he was staying with his mom, helping with chores. He was actually at my house. We had been intimate, made plans. All while he was lying to both of us, and she had proof he had cheated on her 5 times before. All this time, he made it seem like she was the villain. At one point, she and I looked at each other and asked him straight up, "Do you even want either of us now?" His answer, "No. You're both bitches. I hate you both." I laughed and told him the feeling was mutual. He got in the truck with his son and drove off, didn't even finish loading it. She and I sat together after that, talked, and even laughed at how foolish we had both been. We apologized to each other for the tension between us. We were both used, manipulated, lied to, and neither of us deserved that. The cherry on top? Their son told us the only reason his dad kept both relationships going was to make sure he had a place to stay if one of us kicked him out. I didn't cry, not a single tear. I'm just glad he's out of my life. I'm done with this chaos. Whatever happens next, at least it won't involve him. The next day, I sent him a message with a deadline to pick up the rest of his stuff. Shortly after, his ex-wife called, saying he told her I was begging him to come back. I sent her a screenshot of the message, just a simple note about picking up his things, and told her I didn't want anything more to do with him. She apologized and said she couldn't believe he was still lying. I could hear them fighting in the background before she hung up. Later, she texted me saying she was sorry, just exhausted from all his lies. Whether she took him back again or not, that's her decision. I told her I wanted no part of their drama. I only cared about one thing: him getting his stuff out of my house. He blocked me on everything after that message. No surprise there. He's still playing games, still lying. But I'm not angry anymore, just relieved. It took me a while to see it, but I finally did. He's a lying, cheating, manipulative man-child. And now he's someone else's problem.